Hello everybody, Randy Lamb, Education Director at the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame Museum in downtown Owensboro, the bluegrass music capital of the world. Today we're here with Mr. Rick Faris, where we're going to be learning about some picking and some grinning on a good old guitar. Rick,
Yes, indeed.
We're in your shop right now, which we'll talk about later, but how about we start with a song?
Sounds great. Let's do one called Blackberry Blossom.
Love it.
Yeah.
My gosh, boy, when are you going to learn how to play that thing?
Someday.
And I also want to thank you, Mr. Chris Joslin, for being here picking and grinning with us. Thank you, bud. So, man, I tell you what, I'm so excited. We're doing these series of videos for AARP, and today we're here to focus on the guitar, and you are the guitar man. By the way, just short story to let you all know, Rick and your family recently moved to town to start this wonderful shop, Faris Guitars and Kentucky Guitar Works. And again, we'll be talking more about that later. But we want to educate folks a little bit about the guitar and how it worked its way into bluegrass music and all that good stuff. And you are the pro, so we'll let you start at the beginning, wherever that is.
At the beginning, in the beginning. Well, so the guitar actually, it's an instrument that came from Spain, so it's a European influence, but it very quickly got a facelift when it came to America in the hands of Christian Frederick Martin the first. So C.F. Martin, he actually came from the class society of Germany. You could not be a luthier if your father was not a luthier.
Wow,
so he
I didn't know
moved
that.
to America to become a luthier, and he actually started his company in New York in 1833. Wow. So they later moved to now Nazareth, Pennsylvania, but they're the ones who are the developers of the X-Brace design, which we now commonly see in just about every guitar out there. And the dreadnought body size, which is, of course, the bluegrass dreadnought is the standard size for bluegrass music. So
that a lot of people out there may not realize, in bluegrass music, Martin is one of the go-to guitars that a lot of people want to own, want to play, right?
Yeah. And that was my dream guitar as a kid. And I when Dad bought me that guitar, and it came in the kitchen floor was had that Steel Me Blue Martin case. Man, I knew exactly what that was. It was like, wow, whose is that? And he said, it's yours if you'll play for it.
Wow.
So Dad bought me a Martin before he bought himself one.
Oh,
so
man.
Martins, they hold a lot of significance in our music, and the guitars that I build are akin to a Martin design. But I've taken it and made it my own as we've gone on. But when I became a teenager, I was longing for a guitar that would help me grow. And so I couldn't afford a $30,000 guitar, so I started building them.
Oh man!
So this is one of the guitars you made. I mean, you're playing a guitar that you made with your own 2 hands.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the first guitar built here in Owensboro, actually, and it's an Adirondack spruce top with white oak back and sides, and a cherry neck. So a little unconventional, but still a great bluegrass axe.
And people need to realize too. Yeah, it's beautiful wood, but the tone of this thing is unreal. And again, we're sitting here in Faris Guitars. We're going to be showing that to you all a little bit later, a little bit inside the shop. I can't wait for them to see that. So tell us, so you was talking about Martin coming over here to America. And let's continue on educating these folks a little bit.
A couple. So bluegrass is a wonderful melting pot music. The Scotch-Irish fiddling heritage that came over from the Scotch-Irish area there, the UK is what we commonly call it now, but it came over in the hearts and minds of folks and their tunes, their melodies that they brought with them, and it settled up in the mountains in Appalachia, and it really kind of found its own thing there. Well, when Bill Monroe was a young kid, his father and mother had passed away, but he went to live with Uncle Penn, as we all know. They may not know, but we know that. Uncle Penn was a fiddler. And he played with lots of different people. He loved collaborating, and one of his favorite picking buddies was Arnold Schultz.
Yes, absolutely.
And he was a black railroad worker from the South, and he brought the blues influence to Bill's ear. Yeah. And so those two things kind of culminated together. It's high and lonesome melodies with blues thrown in there, and Scotch-Irish influence. And the upright bass comes from our jazz heritage up in Chicago. We dropped the accordion, thank goodness. But
Bill said no.
Bill
accordion.
had some experimental phases. That ain't no part of nothing right there.
This could be an accordion shop.
It could have been. It could have been, if only. Fun fact: Greg Cahill, who I worked for 11 and a half years, his first instrument was accordion.
Oh my goodness. Accordion, then he stepped up to
And then he stepped up to banjo. The jokes just keep coming. But so bluegrass really is just a lot of influences coming from different areas, coming together to have fun and make music for the people. So I think we should do one from the Celtic Isles. We should do Red Hair Boy, which is Little Blind Beggar Boy. It's the original title. Yeah, for those who don't know. Here's Red Hair Boy. I love that tune.
Now we set this filming up. I'm on the wrong side of the guitar. I want to be over there watching all of this, and I can't, but I can hear it. Man, this sounds so good, Rick.
Thanks.
Hey, I wanted to ask a quick question. You mentioned the jazz influence a while ago, and that's something we haven't talked a lot about in some of these other series of videos, but some people out there might be wondering how that works, right? And obviously, Bill uses that in bluegrass, and we still do today.
Absolutely.
And that's not just playing the melody, but improvising and playing a lot of
Yes.
different notes. So you may have noticed Rick when you first started, a lot of times we'll stick a little closer to the melody, and as the song goes on, what do you do?
Yeah, so you find different ways or different positions to find the melody. I like to experiment with chords as well. So the basic melody of Red Hair Boy is... B section. The cool thing about Red Hair Boy, I think, is it's one of the easiest songs to learn. So if you break it apart like a conversation, a musical conversation, you have a question, response, question, and answer in each A section or each B section. So the question, your response. Well, it doesn't resolve. It doesn't go back to the one.
No.
So you ask your question again. Oh, you mean...
Oh, yeah.
And so it resolves. Well, the only difference between the A section and the B section is one question. It's the only difference.
Yeah, that's
And then
it.
you go into da 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 da, just like the first response.
Yeah.
So I find Red Hair Boy is the perfect song to start to improv on because you can get tired of that melody real quick. So finding things like, instead of, something like, I'm playing around the chords.
Yeah, because so that they know, Chris and I, our chords are not changing. They're
Right.
staying the same through the whole entire song.
Yeah.
But it's instead of just playing the melody notes,
Yeah.
improvising notes are going all over the place.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's fun for us
It
bluegrass
is.
musicians to do that. Like you said, Rick, sometimes if we were playing that melody, which is a cool melody,
Yeah, it is.
and we played it one time through, and then we might be like, you know what, I could play it the same again, but what if I do this? And then the
Right.
third time, you're coming back around for another break where there'd be Chris playing banjo or me on fiddle or you on guitar. We're like, okay, them boys just played some hot licks, so what am I gonna do? So we improvised, right, to add to that.
So in a way, it's a conversation, but you're doing
Absolutely.
it with instruments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a way to communicate, right? Not only to each other, but to folks who might be listening.
Yeah, and you're playing off each other. You get that inspiration going. The creative juices are up there, and it comes out. So, when you can find your melody in lots of different places, or it helps to have that fluency because then you can not be bored and continue to inspire each other and keep the circle going. Everyone's excited and having fun.
But it certainly does in bluegrass circles. What is so fun is when we get to jamming in a situation, and when somebody's playing really hot licks like you just did, if I'm over here on the fiddle, it fires me up. It adds energy, and it makes me want to be like, what can I do? And then pass it around. Then Chris over there is going to be on the banjo being like, well, I can't let them boys show me up. What am I going to do,
From what I understand, almost encouraged that, right? I mean, he set that up. Hey, you solo, now you solo, now you solo. So it wasn't a competition, but it was definitely, let's escalate this a bit. There's energy in that.
Absolutely.
I think that was the central part of his music.
Well, and that's the other big jazz influence of it is, having solos that can change up and that time to improv, that definitely came from the jazz world before. Old time jams, they play the melody the same way and they play it together, which is cool, but boy, it's real cool to hear someone else's creative hot licks and then go, oh wow, I never would have thought of it that way. And then, well, hey, let's do something else, totally different direction. Yeah. So I find that incredibly inspiring. I love that about bluegrass.
I love it.
Yeah.
We got another song, I believe.
Yeah.
On the list, we have Tennessee Waltz.
Yeah.
We're going to slow it down, change up the time signature a little bit.
I think. So we'll do it in D. Yeah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. darling, to the Tennessee waltz when no friend I happen to see. I introduced him to my darling, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. Yes, I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz. I know now just how much I've lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. Yes, I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz. I know now just how much I've lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. It's got to end somewhere.
That's right. That's one right here.
That there is sweet. Now they know, you obviously know what a great guitar player he is and singer. Which leads us right into, now we're going to brag on your songwriting. He was telling me earlier about how he's going to talk a little bit about the, you know, the importance of the songwriters in the bluegrass world, and you being one. So,
Yeah, well, you know, songwriters notoriously are almost always backed up by a guitar, you know, so it whether it's themselves or someone else. So, you know, guitars and songwriting, they're kind of synonymous. And so I love songwriting. I love listening to other songwriters and the crafting and wordsmithing that goes on in it. I really dig it. It's like improv, but with lyrics.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, a lot of great songwriters in bluegrass music. Bill Monroe was a songwriter. He wrote a lot
Yeah.
of instrumentals as well as vocal singing songs, and had a lot of band members that wrote music as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's always been important. They, of course, always wrote about what a lot of people still write about today, about love, whether that's being in love or whether that's falling out of love or your heart broke. And some of them are sad songs about losing somebody, spiritual songs.
Yeah.
A lot of gospel influence, right? A lot of folks growing up in the church, singing praises to the Lord, and lots of different ways people can write.
Yeah.
Well, you can write a song just about anything you want to, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, as long as it has meaning for you and as long as it has some actual real connection, you know, generally that's going to connect with someone else. You know, we're all human, we're all living the human condition. And so if you can find something that resonates true to you, something that has a nugget of truth, like that's going to speak to someone else. So it connects us.
Well, you have an original song picked out to do. Chris and
Yeah.
I don't know it. We haven't practiced. We're going to step out of the way.
I haven't practiced it either, so hopefully I remember all the lyrics.
Hey, you're the only one's going to know.
There you go. That's true. Hey, we can just write it on the spot. Fishing with the family, I wandered down the bank. I heard the drag singing and I pulled back with the A. Monster had his own design, then he jumped and broke the line. Still swimming around today, the one that got away. Fate as it ebbs and flows, it's got its twists and turns. And though we may not understand, the heart can help to serve. Mama said, close your eyes and trust your heart to see. The one that got away just wasn't meant to be. The smell of a musty Martin I one time nearly had spoke and sang the life of the musical nomad. They said that it was spoken for, but the seeds were sown. If I couldn't buy the vintage sound, I'd have to make my own. Fate as it ebbs and flows, it's got its twists and turns. And though we may not understand, the heart can help to serve. Mama said, close your eyes and trust your heart to see. The one that got away just wasn't meant to be. I remember my first heartbreak like the dark side of the moon. Call it fate or destiny, but dreams they do come true. And now I found my better half, I know she's here to stay. Hey, look at us, it's all because the one that got away. Fate as it ebbs and flows, it's got its twists and turns. And though we may not understand, the heart can help to serve. Mama said, close your eyes and trust your heart to see. The one that got away just wasn't meant to be.
Oh, yes.
I remembered it.
And we didn't know if you didn't. We wouldn't have known. Fantastic song.
Thanks.
Just like you said, something that can resonate with others. And you was telling a story.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's you know, everyone's had that. Everyone's had something that's gotten away. Whether it's the muscle car, the motorcycle, the guitar, the woman.
Yeah.
That ninth inning of the home, the
Yeah.
home team game in high school. Yeah, we've all had that one that got away. So.
Yeah, great song, Rick. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
think we're going to do, and I'm glad you mentioned this earlier. It was like, we got to do a good old bluegrass classic song.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I got a capo. I've got the capo. Capo.
It's Sitting on Top of the World.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite tunes. I learned it early on, and
This is a song that I've heard in other genres too. This song's been around for a long time. hasn't it?
yeah. I mean, as far as I know, I think it came from a blues treatment, and I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
The dash is gone, head out on the rig. I'm sitting on top of the world.
Yeah.
But when it came to bluegrass, it got a facelift, got a tempo lift, and it's a great tune. So,
That's great. I'll kick it if you want.
Do you mind? Please. Yeah. So, out there.
1, 2, 3.
Sunny day, my gal left me, though she went away. Now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't you come here running, holding at your hand. He'll be a woman like you got your man. Now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. Yeah. That's ashes and dust to dust. Show me a woman that a man can trust. Now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. Well, Mississippi River runs deep and wide. I left my baby on the other side. Now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. One more time. Holding out your hand, I'll give me a woman like you got your man. Now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. Yes, now she's gone and I don't worry, I'm sitting on top of the world. Yeah. Man, fun picking with you guys.
Yeah.
At the Bluegrass Music Academy, we believe in the power of music to bring generations together. With our online courses, everyone can learn to play, from the first note to the final song. Join us today and discover the joy of bluegrass music.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here with Mr. Rick Faris again, fixing to do our play-along song, You Are My Sunshine. But before we do, man, I wanted folks to see your shop. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so this is kind of the assembly room. So we have our benches everywhere. This is a go-bar decking clamping system, which we assemble everything with rods.
Say that 3 times
Yeah,
fast.
go-bar decking clamp system. Yeah, which we take these rods and we bend them and then stick them between 2 surfaces that are smaller than that bend, and it wants to press out and press down. So you know, the guitars come in and they're from the sawmill. They're real thick, and we'll take them. That's half a guitar right there. We join it together, and then we start building things on. We'll grab some sound hole rings, cut out the sound hole. Then we'll start backing it with braces and shape them. So that's how the guitars get their sound. They get their tone from the braces and how you assemble them, brace them, and such. Then we make the sides, bend them, start to reinforce them with kerfing, make necks. The necks come out of big billets that have 2 necks in one piece of wood.
Wow.
So we cut them out and process them and start making necks out of them.
So I tell you what, if a person wanted to learn more, maybe about your guitars that you make,
Yeah.
or come down here and see your shop, how could they do that?
Yeah, you could go to KentuckyGuitarWorks.org, or you could go to rickfaris.com. And Faris is spelled like Paris, France, but with an F. So Faris, rickfaris.com.
So you can learn about your turn, man. You tour all over the place. You got your band.
Yeah.
You're making guitars when you're not touring.
Right. Yeah.
And all
We're
that
also
good
starting
stuff.
up student classes for guitar building and
yeah.
repairs. So you can come here and learn how to repair, learn how to do building, whatever. So.
Man, that's so cool, and we're so proud and so happy, so blessed to have you and your family here in Owensboro, Kentucky, the bluegrass music capital of the world. You're making that dream a reality right here in Owensboro. We're tickled to have you. I tell you what, I know y'all been waiting. You got your instruments tuned up. Let's move on in there and do our closing song.
Let's do it.
So You Are My Sunshine, fun little tune. We've been closing out these series with this song because, you know, when we ask people to play along to a song, sometimes it might be hard to, if every single video we're doing something different and different keys and different tempos and things. So we thought this is a fun song. You know, I love, one of my favorite things in the world is to go into a nursing home. We do a ton of outreach here in Owensboro with a lot of groups. So we teach people to play, teach them to play together, and then teach them to serve with their music, whether that's playing at their church, whether that's playing at a nursing home, hospital bed, whatever that is. But you know what? No matter where we go, we can do You Are My Sunshine, and little kids know it, and adults know it, up to 100 years old. It does not matter. Everybody knows this song. Everybody can sing along, and it's very fun. So we thought it was a perfect song to pick out for our play along, jam along song at the end of these series. So we're in the key of D, everybody. D, G, and A. That's all you got to know. And we're going to let Rick lead us in You Are My Sunshine.
Sounds great. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Solo in the house.
Rick, thank you so much for having us in your shop, man. We really appreciate it. And you can learn You Are My Sunshine and a ton of other songs on fiddle, mandolin, or guitar. I break it down and make it super simple at bluegrassmusicacademy.org. Chris Joslin, thank you, man, for being here backing us up.
Pleasure.
Yes,
How
sir.
much fun. Yeah, that's great.
Picking and grinning with us. And thank you again, Rick, for having us in your wonderful shop. And they can learn more by going to what?
To rickfaris.com, which is FARIS.com, or you can go to KentuckyGuitarWorks.org.
Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you later.